I'm James with NetNewsLedger. We're here in the studio with Mayor Hobbs. We've got a busy week coming up at City Council, Mayor Hobbs. One of the issues coming up is taxes. What do our readers need to know?
Well, first of all, they need to know that we need to start budgeting for climate change, and that's quite apparent. 3 years in a row now we've been clobbered. We had the flood in 2012 and now two unprecedented back-to-back tough winters. And I always say that weather is a federal issue, so we have to blame our MPs, not the city and city council. But having said that, we're looking at some tough issues. We have to cut or fine $5.7 million. Gas prices are going through the roof, and that's affecting our city fleet. So we have to look at that. We have to look at how we manage our fleet, how we can look at cost savings in that regard. We have to look at our plowing, how we do our plowing of city streets, residential areas. And I'm of the opinion that we need to take out our reserves. We have reserves for rainy days, and these are snowy days, which is just frozen rain. But so we have to take out our reserves, I believe, and then build up those reserves at a later time to pay for this. I don't want to see taxes raised. We worked hard on the budget this year. We passed the budget in March of 1.69% tax levy increase, which I think is pretty reasonable. We've held the line on taxes the last 4 years of this council, and I'm quite proud of what we've done in that regard, and I don't want to see that trend damaged at all.
Now, you're talking about how the process is for setting, say, service levels on snow clearing. Easter Sunday, we had a number of people contacted NetNewsLedger because there were snowplows out in the middle of the afternoon. It was 14 degrees. They were plowing bare streets. What on earth was going on?
Yeah, when you sent me that message, I said, "Geez, those plows must have been stolen." It's something that I think we should revisit, and I know administration are concerned about liability issues, and people in Thunder Bay are a little spoiled in that regard, in that they want their streets plowed and their sidewalks cleared all the days it snows, and I think we have to revisit that. And when we're predicting 12, 14 degree weather, and nature will take care of it, I think we have to let nature take care of it. So we'll be revisiting the whole way that we go about winter control. Now,
the other issue, of course, that jumps right into that is spring cleaning. Now, next week you're doing a spring cleaning event on Red River Road. City streets seem to take a long time to clear, and some of the downtown areas especially. What can Thunder Bay do better?
Well, I think Thunder Bay has to be educated, first of all, on littering, and we have an anti-litter campaign. It's just disgusting when I walk downtown May Street, Victoria Avenue, the cigarette butts and needles. So it starts there. It starts with our own people and their own cleanliness, and then this has been a pretty severe winter. We've had several snowfalls, and then it just layers up. The litter goes on to the level of snow, and then we get another snowfall, and by springtime it's just a mess. And we have Spring Up to Clean Up coming up soon, and we do have Clean, Green and Beautiful, looking at cleaning our image routes. It has been a tough year, and I'm not making excuses, but I think people in the city, the residents, have to start policing themselves and cleaning up after themselves. Take pride in your city.
Now, one of the other issues that has been looked at a lot is the James Street Bridge, the railway, and our relationship with Fort William First Nation. What's happening?
Well, we met with CN last week, and they have their view on the bridge. I'm not at liberty to discuss it right now, but our lawyers have been working on this issue for 3 years. They've been researching the 1906 accord between the city of Fort William and CN. Back in the day, the city of Fort William paid Grand Trunk Railroad $50,000, and then CN took over Grand Trunk Railroad. They paid them $50,000 a year, and CN is supposed to look after that bridge in perpetuity. And so that's the issue right now. We're trying to get CN to fix that bridge, and CN are, in my opinion, dragging their feet. So we're going to be meeting with our lawyer next week, and then we're having a further meeting with CN. Fort William First Nation have been with us every step of the way, every meeting that we've had. We've met together, and now last week we met together with Fort William First Nation and CN. They're our partners. They signed a declaration of commitment with the City of Thunder Bay to work together, and we are working together on this issue. both City of Thunder Bay and Fort William First Nation are very frustrated at what I'm going to call feet dragging by CN.
Now, in the long run, even fixing that bridge isn't going to solve the real long-term problem. It's a 100-year-old bridge. What can be done to put a new modern bridge to bridge that gap across the river? And it's still costing the businesses on Fort William First Nation, at least $50,000 a day, according to the First Nation. Should we be getting the province and the federal government involved to get a new bridge?
We were talking about that at the meeting, and I don't want to get into too much of the nuts and bolts of that meeting, but so a working group was suggested between Fort William First Nation, the City of Thunder Bay, the province, and the feds, AANDC, Aboriginal Affairs, Northern Development Canada, and Chief Peter Collins and I talked about this 2 years ago about the need for a new Unity Bridge, and so that's very well could be the next step in this process. But again, that doesn't resolve the short-term problem of that bridge being out.
Now, as we head towards the summer, what can residents in Thunder Bay expect from the city? What's up and coming that we can talk about that people want to know, other than just Canada Day and the great fireworks display?
Yeah, I just think that what we're doing with the infrastructure, last year we put record $38 million into infrastructure improvements, and this year 40 plus million, so 78 million in 2 years, which is, I think, phenomenal for a city of our size. And so a lot more detours. Again, that's not something that you really want to look forward to, but we're getting the city built up, the infrastructure built up. There was a $17 million infrastructure deficit that this term of council have been working hard on. So that's continuing. Phase 3 of the feasibility study for the event center should be prepared by the end of June. So we'll be looking at next steps, and the next step is to get the funding from different levels of government and see if we do get it. So that we have that project shovel ready and complete by probably fall of 2017. That's where I'd like to go with it. Again, we're talking about the funding from the province and the feds. If that's not there, this project is probably going to be a hockey rink. However, I'd like to see the event center multiplex go ahead. A lot of events, you said Canada Day, but we have Summer in the Parks again. We have the movie nights. Those are real good attraction. And we have the Blues Fest coming with a great lineup, so a lot of fun things for the city happening again, and it's going to be a fun summer, probably a short summer, but we'll try and pack as much fun into it as possible, build our city up. Still looking to get that Costco. I'm still waiting to hear from them, so we can build our tax base. And I want to say that last year our tax assessment base jumped by $2.1 million. This year we're expecting record assessment growth, and that's always good because that offsets your tax increases. So more of that.
Well, thank you for coming into the studio and spending some time with us and sharing with our readers, listeners, and viewers.
My pleasure, James. Thank you.
Thank you.